students. Today we discussed about some natural phenomena. In lower classes, we studied about storms and cyclones. We have also learned how they affect us and how we can ourselves protect from this. In this chapter, we shall discuss two other destructive natural phenomena, that is lightning and earthquake, and the steps we can take to minimize destruction caused by these calamities. You might have seen electric sparks on an electric pole when wires become loose or when a plug is loose in the socket. The wires loose, when two wires are touched together, the electric spark is produced. We are seen in your house or in streets. Sometimes we notice flashes of light all over the sky during rain and thunderstorms. This natural phenomena is called lightning. Lightning is an electric spark but on a huge scale. It is also lightning is a spark but on a huge scale. Lightning occurs because of the massive electric charge following from clouds from one part of the cloud to another or from a cloud to the ground. To understand how this happens, let us first learn about electric charges. What is charges, electric charges? How to get you charges? Now we do some activities. Charging by rubbing. You take a plastic comb, bring it near small pieces of paper. The comb does not attract them, but the plastic comb is rubbed with your hair and then bring it near to the bit of paper. The plastic comb attracts them because it gets electrically charged. Which one is get electrically charged? The plastic comb gets electric charge, so it will attract the bit of papers. So in this diagram, we see this diagram. A comb does not rub this comb, so the bit of papers are not attracted, but comb rubbed with hair, it attracts the bit of papers. Similarly, when you rub an inflated balloon with a woolen material and place it against a wall, the balloon sticks to the wall. Rubbing a comb against dry hair or rubbing a balloon against a woolen material produce a kind of force in them that can attract as well as repel certain object. This force is called the electrostatic force. Not only this comb and balloon, but other materials are rubbed with their certain material rubbed. It will get a charges. That is, the comb and balloon are said to be electrically charged when they are rubbed against dry hair or a woolen material, as they requires electric charges. So an object having electric charge on it is called a charged objects. And also the glass rod is rubbed with silk, and this glass rod get electrically charged. Then it get a positive charge, and silk get a negative charge, the equal amount of negative charge. And ebony is rubbed with woolen material or some material, so it will also get charged, electrically charged. It get the negative charge. Ebony get negative charge. The same amount of charge get woolen. So these objects are called charged objects. The process of giving electric charge to an object is called charging the object. Charging an object by rubbing it with other object is called charging by friction. The charges generated by rubbing or friction are static. They do not move by themselves. Motion of charges in an electric constitute electric current. Electric circuit constitute electric current. Motion of charges in an electric circuit constitute electric current. Two kinds of electric charges. It has been found by experiments that are two types of charges, electric charges, that is positive charge and negative charges. Who find out that? Who invented that? Then Benjamin Franklin discovered that there are two kinds of electrical charges, positive and negative. Like charges repulse and unlike charges attract each other. The electric charge on a glass rod, when it is rubbed with a silk cloth, considered as positive. Which one is positive? Glass rod is a positive. The electric charge on an ebonite rod, when rubbed with fur or wool, is considered as negative. So ebonite get negative. Some activities we do, that is things is needed: two glass rods, two ebonite rod, a piece of silk cloth, a piece of fur, a wooden stand and a piece of silk thread. Rub a glass rod with a piece of silk and suspended or hang it with a silk thread to a stand. Bring another glass rod rubbed with silk cloth near the suspended charged glass rod. What happened? Near the glass rod, already the suspended glass get electric charge, and the second you near the glass rod, it is also rubbed, so it also get a charge, so it will repel each other. The two glass rods are repel each other because that in this case both the rods are of the same material, that is glass rod both were rubbed with silk cloth, so their electric charges are the same time, they repel each other. Rub an ebonite rod with fur and hang it with a silk thread to a stand. They rub another ebonite rod with fur and bring close to the suspended charged ebonite rod. So this ebonite rod is connected to the silk thread and hang it to the wooden stand. So ebonite rod already get a charged ebonite, and another ebonite rod also rubbed with fur. So these two rods are electrical charged. These two rods are same charges. So in this case both the rods are of the same material, that is ebonite, and both were rubbed with fur. So their electric charges are of the same type and they repel each other. So we conclude that similar charges repel each other, or like charges repel each other. Another activity is charges attract each other. Unlike charges attract each other. Things need a glass rod, a piece of silk cloth, a wooden stand, a piece of silk thread, an ebonite rod and a piece of fur. Suspended glass rod rubbed with silk cloth to a stand using a silk thread. Bring an ebonite rod rubbed with fur near the suspended glass rod. What happens? In this case, the suspended glass rod gets attracted towards the ebonite rod. because the two rods are of different materials, ebonite and glass, and they were rubbed with different materials, fur and silks. So their electric charges must be different. Since the oppositively charged glass and ebonite rods attract each other, we conclude that unlike charges attract each other. Repulsion is the sure test of electrification. You have seen that a charged object can attract another object with opposite charge and also an uncharged object. Therefore, attraction by a charged object does not indicate whether the other object being tested is charged or not. However, when the object being tested is repelled by the charged object, you become sure that the object under examination is charged and has the same charge as on the charged object. Therefore, to test whether an object is charged or not, bring a positively charged and a negatively charged object near the object to the tested one by one. If it is attracted by both, it is not charged. If it is repelled by positively charged object, it is also positively charged. It is repelled by negatively charged object, it is also negatively charged. Thus, we can see that repulsion is the sure test of electrification. Electric charges in atoms. All matter is made up of tiny particles called atoms. An atom consists of three main particles, that is protons, electrons and neutrons. In this topic, electric charges in atoms. All matter, you already know, all matter is made up of tiny particles called atoms. An atom consists of three main particles, protons, electrons and neutrons. A proton carries a positive, an electron carries a negative, and the neutron has no charge, that is neutral. You already studied in lower classes. In an atom, under normal conditions, the number of protons is equal to the number of electrons. Thus, the atom as a whole is electrically neutral. When an atom gains electrons, the number of electrons is more than protons, that is positively charged. Hence, the object is said to be negatively charged. When an atom loses electrons, because it is a positive, so it loses electrons. When an atom loses electrons, there is less number of electrons than protons. Hence, the object is said to be positively charged. Next topic, methods of charging. An uncharged object can be charged by the following three methods, that is friction, conduction, induction. First, we discuss about the charging by friction. We have seen that what a plastic comb is rubbed with dry air, it acquires charge and attracts small pieces of paper. The comb acquires this charge due to rubbing, that is by friction. Similarly, when the rub an ebonite rod with fur, and also it also acquires charge, and glass rod is rubbed with silk, it also requires charge. So when an object is rubbed against another object, there is a transfer of charge from one object to another. It's this transfer of charge is caused by due to the friction. In this case, a charge not produced, only charges are transferred. Charging by conduction. When an uncharged object is touched with the positively or negatively charged object, the uncharged object also acquires the same charge as is possessed by the charged object. This process is called charging by conduction. What is charging by conduction? When an uncharged object is touched with a positively or negatively charged object, the uncharged object also acquires the same charge as is possessed by the charged object. That is called charging by conduction. Next we see charging by induction. The process of charging an object by keeping it near a charged object but not touching it, only near the object, is called charging by induction. The process of charging near the keep near the object, the another object is charged. In charging by induction, no charge flows from the charged object to the uncharged object. When the object is negatively charged, it repels the electrons in the uncharged object. Due to this, the nearer end of the uncharged object becomes electron deficient, that is positively charged. The further end of uncharged object becomes negatively charged and has excess of electrons. Similarly, when the object is positively charged, it attracts the electrons in the uncharged object. Thus, nearer end of uncharged object has excess of electrons, that is, it becomes negatively charged, and the further end of the uncharged object becomes electron deficient, that is positively charged. Now when you remove the charged object, the object charged by induction will again become neutral.